welcome to Thought for Thursday. I hope that everyone has had a great week. I apologize for being just a little late. Technology takes over once again, right as I'm getting ready to go live. It says I need to do an update. I'm like, isn't that appropriate? That was my post for today, talking about needing to do updates. Well, for some reason, StreamYard figured I needed to do an update. So, hello, good to see everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. So, StreamYard figured I needed to do an update right now. So, I'm going live and an update needed to be done. I just thought that was really cute how that happened on today. So, we are talking habits today. I mean, all day today, the focus has been habits, right? The blog talked about how to create a habit. I mean, it gave you some steps, step by step by step, what it is we need to do to create a habit to basically negate some of the unhealthy ones that we may be adhering to, the ones that are keeping us from being successful. Any change, which is what I talked about in the blog. Actually, it was yesterday's blog that definitely, applies today just as well. It fits right in with our theme. But any change is going to require you to develop some good habits, some habits that are going to support what it is that you're trying to do. So, we talked about how you develop a good habit, some of the intricacies that go into pulling one together. And tonight we're going to go just a little further and we're going to talk about 9 success habits. So, again, we're going to talk about 9 success habits. We talked about how we pull one together. And tonight we're going to talk about a few of them that have been known to help you to be successful. So I want to invite you, if you have any questions or comments, please by all means drop them in the chat. I promise I'll try to make sure to keep my eyes peeled to see if I see anything. And I'll also be looking out here on Instagram as well. So we all know that we have some habits that just aren't good. And definitely we have some that will definitely interfere with us going about a change or pushing for a change or, any kind of transformation. Some of those things that really cause us to not be able to move into the space where we need to be for change, habits that kind of go around procrastinating and habits that go around just not completing things. Many of us start things and we just don't complete them. There are all kinds of habits that really aren't productive. So tonight, again, we're going to talk about 9 that are. Okay, so 9 habits that are successful or 9 habits that have proven to help people to be successful. Number 1, have a target. All right. So when you're making a change in your life, have a target. They give an analogy when I was reading some information up on this. They give an analogy of, you not leaving your house without knowing where you want to go. Now that, it depends on how you look at that. Some of us know where we want to go. We don't know how to get there, but that's why we have Waze, okay? And MapQuest and different navigation tools out there. But the same thing applies to when you're making a change. So whatever habit that you're trying to develop, set a target, for that habit. I have a quote here that talks about setting goals is a huge part of success. It will be challenging to find a highly successful person that couldn't recite their goals to you on command. Okay, so have a target. All right, that's the start of pulling together some good habits. Successful people, something else that they do, they're proactive. So they try to get ahead of any obstacles that may rear their head up, okay, in the process of change, in the process of transformation, in the process of them trying to move forward. They try to get ahead of things so that being proactive is a successful habit to have. So get ahead of it. Start to anticipate what could happen. Run through what you want to occur, and then think of the obstacles and the things that may just pop up out of, nowhere that could inhibit you from getting to the place where you want to be, and be proactive and set up a workaround for that so that you can get around that thing and continue to progress in the area that you want to progress in. Number 3, exercise. Why is that a great habit for change? Exercise keeps you healthy. Exercise keeps your brain endorphins just, you know, flowing like they should. You think a lot more clearly when you get exercise. It keeps the heart moving as it should be moving. Exercise is just good for you physically, for keeping your physical body in shape. And it's also great for you mentally. It is one of the best things that you can do to achieve clarity. You want to be clear, of course, when you're making a change. So, exercise is a good habit to form for several different reasons, right? So, what was that? That was number 3. Number 4, those that are successful take personal responsibility for their lives. And sometimes, if you think about that, that can be a big one for people. It's easy, sometimes to blame others when you're not able to do something. You've set your sights on, setting up a huge building. You're trying to establish a building where you're going to have extracurricular activities for kids or something. It's easy to blame so many different pieces that could go into pulling that together. It's easy to blame something not occurring on one of those pieces that could possibly contribute. Or it's easy to say, well, I don't have my building together because they're really stalling on giving me my permits. Well, true, a stalled permit can definitely slow down your process, but there are other things that you can be doing so that when that permit comes forward, you're ready to go ahead and get the building established. So don't fall into blaming others for things that you want to do in your life. We frequently tend to use others as an excuse. I never had time for myself. Nobody works with me when I try to get things done. I feel like I'm all by myself. Remember, this is your change. This is the change that you want, right? This is the reinvention that you want. It is your responsibility to make sure that you push for it, that you take accountability for it. Hold yourself accountable. Get yourself some goals in there, and then maybe have somebody else be accountable with you or hold you accountable so that, you will definitely get things accomplished. So, number 4, successful people take personal responsibilities for their lives. Number 5, a premium is placed on time. Successful people are more concerned with time than they are with money. I know that sounds strange, but again, that goes into what you're calling success. Some people will say they're successful if they're making a lot of money. Some people will say that they're successful if they're able to do something or implement a plan that they've wanted to implement for a long time, and they're finally able to do that. That could be success. Successful people are constantly trying to find ways to leverage their time. That's something that you want to look at. Time is of value, of course. People kind of see their time as worth a certain amount of money per hour. A successful person is always trying to increase the value of their time. So keep that in mind. Number 6, the ability to manage emotional states is paramount. We've heard this a number of times on various topics that I've talked about in reference to reinventing. But being able to be in control emotionally of what is going on as you're trying to make the change. Um, you know, being able to weather the storm, so to speak, being able to know who to reach out to if you need to make changes and you're getting weary one day and you feel like something is never going to come to fruition and emotions start to take over and you want to give up. So, managing that emotion doesn't always mean that you can turn it off at that moment, but managing the emotion means that you're able to reach out to some resources who are going to be able to help to pull you through that state. You cannot give into emotions if they are pulling you in the wrong direction. Joy and happiness, you're not going to find those are going to pull you in the wrong direction, right? But definitely failure, discouragement is going to put you there. Feeling despondent is going to put you going in the wrong direction. So be able to manage those times, manage those low points by making sure that you have a resource who's going to help you to get through it. Okay. Number 7, use your failures wisely. Every part of your journey, I've said it so many times here, has a purpose. I think I even posted about it late last week, maybe this week. But every part of your journey has a reason and a purpose, whether it's a lesson or whether it's, something that is a building block for you to go into the next space. Do not give into your failures and see that as an indication that you are not going to be successful in what you're trying to do. You may have failed at one portion of something, but that certainly does not negate your entire project, your goal. That does not deter you from hitting that goal. Stop, take a look at what that failure led to, what it's telling you, and then move on past there. Use it as a lesson, okay? And then have it help you to establish whatever is needed for you to continue to progress and not stay stuck in that failure, but move past it and learn from it. Okay. So that was number 7. Number 8, prioritization. Those that accomplish a lot have a habit of focusing on the most important things. Let's face it, life is going to hit us in so many different directions. It's going to tempt us to focus on any number of paths, correct? So what we have to do is make it a point to ensure that we have what is most important up front in our minds. What is the most important part of making a change that you want to make? What is the most important asset that you need to have? You may see 50 different things out there that you can get. And you may start to get discouraged because you're thinking, I don't have the resources to get this asset that I need. Focus on that most important thing and work on acquiring that. And then some of the extras, of course, you can have to come along a little later. But focusing on that most important thing is going to help you, and it's going to just have so many benefits. You get that most important thing, then you feel as though I'm closer to my goal. I'm almost there. I'm really making some progress. Whereas if you focus on a lot of things and hit one thing here and something that may not be as instrumental in helping you to get where you need to be, that could really pull the process down for you and start to bring in those feelings of discouragement. So prioritization is a very healthy and a much needed habit when you're talking about changing. So that was number 8. And number 9, focus on improvement. Focus on improvement. So all along the way, you're going to hit various milestones as you change. You may hit one milestone and you may not hit it right on the bullseye like you want to hit it. But make sure that your focus is on improving. It may not totally be like you want it, but you do want to look at the fact that you have made some type of improvement, okay? And then you can fine tune things to make them even better. But again, don't get bogged down or don't let the habit of not focusing on improvement really kind of force you to develop some other habits that kind of sneak in behind that, like the habit of just giving up because it just doesn't look good enough. It's good enough. Trust me. If you are improving, it is good enough. Remember that. Okay. So we are right at our 15 minutes, folks. I promise to come every Thursday and give you 15 minutes of stuff to think about, things that you need to focus on when you're talking about reinventing, for us risers, for we risers, reinventing in our prime. What are the things that you need to focus on? Today, we talked about habits. We talked about 9 habits. Be sure that you jot them down. I'll say them again quickly. I have them written here. Have a target. Make sure you have a good target for what you want to hit when you're reinventing, okay? Make sure another habit of a successful person is being proactive. Anticipate what could come up and try to get ahead of it. The third thing, exercise. Exercise, exercise is an awesome habit, whether you're trying to increase and improve yourself physically, whether you're trying to achieve clarity. Exercise is going to help you and be just a major asset as you try to make change in your life. Remember that those that are successful take personal responsibility for their lives. Don't let anything or anyone else try to weigh what you need to do in your life or have more of an opinion on what you need to accomplish in your life than you do. You take responsibility for what you want, and don't let anyone else have that priority or have that control over you. Okay. And most importantly, don't let blaming someone else be a cop out. Don't let that be your cop out. Number 5, I think I'm on number 5. A premium is placed on time. Use your time wisely. We talked about how successful people are more concerned with time than they are with money. They see their time as their value, and you need to do the same thing. That is a wonderful habit to take into consideration and to put into place. Number 6, manage those emotional states. Manage them. The good ones are awesome. They're always going to take you over the top and have you rejuvenated and ready to go. But we all know that we're not always going to stay on top of the mountain, correct? And when we can't be there, make sure that we have a resource that we know of, that we can tap into, who's going to be able to help us to navigate past the emotional piece of things and be able to kind of help us even in controlling how we respond to things, controlling our emotions. Use your failure wisely. That's number 7. Don't let it keep you from progressing. Let it be your lesson for moving forward. Okay. Number 8, prioritize. Make sure you're hitting the priority things. Make prioritization a habit. Make it a habit so that you're not being blinded by other things that may creep up and try to take away your focus. Okay. And number 9, focus on improvement and not perfection. Perfection, of course, is the poison for any change. Perfection, and chances are, if you're striving for that, you will never progress to a point where you will actually even move towards that change. Definitely not get in a place where you make the change. All right. So that's it, guys. Your 9 habits for having or making a successful change. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the evening. Go out, be yourself, be audaciously and boldly you, knowing that only you can make the imprint that you have, and we need that imprint. Think about what I just gave you on Thought for Thursday and use it to make your change more effective. All right? That's it. You guys have a good evening.